I walk on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune, and I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there, not a care in the world. See the smile burning in the kitchen, food cooking in the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Harry got up, dressed all in black, went down to the station, and he never came back. They found his clothing scattered somewhere down the track, and he won't be down on Wall Street in the morning. He had a home, love of a girl, but men get lost sometimes as years unfurl. One day he crossed some line and he was too much in this world, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. In a New York minute, everything can change. New York minute, things can get pretty strange. New York minute, everything can change. New York minute. Lying here in the darkness, hear the sirens wail. Somebody going to emergency, somebody's going to jail. You find somebody to love in this world, you better hang on tooth and nail. The wolf is always at the door. In a New York minute, somebody somewhere make these dark clouds disappear. Until that day, I have to believe, I believe, I believe in a New York minute. Ooh, everything can change in a New York minute. Ooh, you can get out of the way in a New York minute. Ooh, everything can change in a New York minute. Blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band, pretty eye, pirate smile. You marry a music man, ballerina. You must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Jesus freaks out in the street, handing tickets out for gone.
she has. She'll let you in her car to go driving around. She'll let you into the parts of herself that'll bring you down.
Good afternoon and welcome to the family and friends of Mike D'Onofrio, both those who are present here and those who are watching online. Now, if you came to cry this afternoon, you've come to the wrong place. Today we are celebrating the life of Mike D'Onofrio, and he would far rather have you laughing than crying. I can assure you that he had St. Peter laughing as he walked through the pearly gates. In fact, his mom speculated that his first words in heaven would be, "What the fuck am I doing here?" I guess you all know Mike had a potty mouth with no filter, especially if he thought something was funny, and now all of heaven knows it too. Well, I did happen to meet Mike a few times as our paths crossed due to work. I certainly can't say that I knew him. However, I did enjoy reading a few memories that Nicola sent me, and I certainly got a clear picture of the kind of man he was and the qualities of character that he possessed that made him so special, including enthusiasm, optimism, humor, service. And I'd like to talk about a few of those. Enthusiasm literally means, from the Greek, enthusiasmos, God within. It really means being filled with the Spirit. When we live with enthusiasm, we're excited about life and we're open to the wonders that each day holds. We do things wholeheartedly, with zeal and eagerness, holding nothing back. Now, this reminds me, too, of one of Mike's favorite characters, Snoopy as the Flying Ace. I think the Flying Ace and Mike had lots in common, as Snoopy would lose himself in his imagination while he chased and cursed the Red Baron. Enthusiasm is allowing the excitement of the moment to fill us and enjoying good humor. When we live in the moment and appreciate what we have, we find joy in simple pleasures. We're cheerful and optimistic about what's to come, and we can imagine what is possible. Mike certainly showed his enthusiasm in his love for fast motorcycles, fast cars, and airplanes. Mike's mom said he was full of adventure and always smiling from the moment he could walk. Even the trips to the emergency department couldn't put a dent in Mike's enthusiasm. Humor. Mike displayed humor, and it allows us to bring joyfulness and laughter into people's lives. We craft our words and actions skillfully to create visions or impressions that help people see things differently. Humor doesn't seek to humiliate, and it's respectful of others' feelings. But laughter truly is the common language of all people that lifts the spirits and makes light the heavy burdens. Mike knew this better than most. I've heard that he would be the first to break tension in a room with a well-timed joke, making everyone laugh. Humor breaks down walls and fosters camaraderie, whether at home, at work, or with friends. Laughter fills our hearts with joy. I've also heard that Mike was never one to dwell on the negative. This outlook is rooted in optimism. Optimism is a positive, cheerful outlook. When we don't allow ourselves to be victimized by setbacks or losses, we are solvers, not complainers, and we embrace challenges with confidence. Now, Mike's gift of humor created a perfect storm when it combined with his confidence. Now, in this story, there may have been a little liquid courage involved, as I guess that it came about at the very first gathering that the family gathering that Nicola ever took Mike to. Apparently, Mike and her brother had been drinking a little bit and discussing how strong Mike might be. I'll get back to that in a moment, but confidence is having faith in ourselves and in life. We feel capable and competent. We trust that we have the strength to cope with whatever happens. Confidence allows us to be free from worry and gives us the strength to try new things. With confidence, we cast off self-limiting beliefs and any doubts that we have. We offer our gifts as a worthy contribution. When opportunity comes, we step into it. We just say yes. So back to the family gathering. Somehow, The question of Mike's strength was asked in this way: if I throw my oldest son at you, can you catch him? So as it turns out, Taylor is always up for something entertaining, and he quickly agreed to be the object of this test of strength. I guess it was successful because after the escapade, it was decided that the Taylor toss needed to be a part of every family wedding, and it has been. I guess he did catch him. How big is Taylor now?
Taylor's 5'8".
Yeah, and was he still catching him up to the last family wedding? Yeah, fantastic. Mike was also a man who was willing to be of service to others. Using our gifts to be of service is really the fullest expression of our lives. Each day we can find a multitude of ways to be useful. Whatever we may achieve, the quality of our own life comes from the quality of our contribution. We don't wait to be asked, and we give our very best effort. This was certainly evident in Mike's career, where as a firefighter, he was ready at any moment to go all in for others. Now, I'm sure that many of you have memories and stories, and I'd like to give you the opportunity to share them if you'd like. I'm going to step down, and the mic is open. If you feel led to come and share something, we'd sure like to hear it. To muster up some of Mike's confidence to be first.
Bye. I think I'm the smallest person in the room, too. I'd planned to welcome to the family at a wedding. Anyway, so I take my kids to go and visit, stay at Nick and Mike's, and although Mike's always said, "No, I love your kids, I love your kids." You haven't met my kids. They're a handful on the nicest of days. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I just hear music blasting. What the fuck? Mike's gonna lose it! Like, God, kids, he's probably asleep. So I come barreling out of the bedroom. No, my kids are sat watching TV. It's Mike in the shower, singing away. Okay. I looked at him and said, "So they're good?" He's like, "I told you they were good." Okay. So anyway, Mike, we officially welcome you to the Blades clan. Stuck with us. And couldn't be happier. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Mike's mum. Wherever he is, they had better be serving in this order: mince pies, Nanaimo squares, and chicken cooked in wine. If there's not, he'll be upset and we'll let them know. He also thought when he was 5 that he was Spider-Man. In Inuvik, where we were at the time, when the children go to get ready for school, they go for blood tests. And he was in there getting his blood done, and they told him, if you don't cry, you can look and see in the machine. Well, he looked in the machine, and it was green, of course. He come flying out of that room. "Hey, I'm Superman. I've got green blood. Better than the boys." He frequently got into trouble with the rest of my boys. People would stop me in the street and go, "Oh, you're Mrs. D'Onofrio?" Are you the mum of? And I'd go, no. Whatever it is, no. Because I knew that somewhere one of them had talked the others into doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and somebody along the line had got caught. He was full of joy, always as a little boy. He could not distinguish color in a person or race. A lot of his early friends were Inuits, Lushus, Hareskins, and he did speak a little bit of each language when he was 5 or 6 because that's what they spoke in the school. That's how they all took. One day was English, one day was French, one day was Lushu, one day was Hareskin, and the last day was English. And on those particular days, the teacher only spoke that language of that day. Nothing else was spoken. He played with the children that were Inuit. We went frequently to a group home where he had friends, and all the children there, of course, were mixed, and he joined right in with the rest of my boys. No problem. Like I said, he had no filter on his mouth at any time, and you never exactly knew what was going to come out. It could be was fine, or it could be an observation that he'd made on his own for some whatever reason, and nobody else knew, but it would come out as his idea of truth. He got very upset one year in Inuvik that when the Easter parade thing went through for the breakup in the spring, he'd been told in Sunday school that Christ was coming. After Easter, he was going to be risen, and he was going to see the baby Jesus. Well, the line went through, and sure enough, there was the root bear, but no baby Jesus, and he was some upset. There was a lot of crying and fussing that day. He always had a good heart. He got his work ethic from his dad, and he got his love of cooking, I think, from me. He could cook up a storm when he wanted to. Some of it was a little iffy occasionally, but it was food, and he enjoyed it. And he was basically a happy, happy person. He might not have necessarily believed in God. He had his own thoughts on belief and what he did and didn't do. And like one other member of my family, if you can't see it, it can't be right. You have to prove it first. But for all of that, he had a great deal of love and a great deal of joy. And for that, I truly thank him. He made our lives exciting, and sometimes we disbelieved everything that we heard, but he gave us a great deal of happiness.
Try and top those stories. I am Liz Rintamaki. I was fondly known as Mike's work wife, and Nick was okay with that. I remember the very first day I went to interview with Mike. Mike looked at me and said, "Holy fuck, what are you going to be able to do?" And as time went on, Mike became my brother. He was that brother from another mother. And then when he finally married Nick, I thought, thank God I don't have to be his work wife anymore. But when my husband came, I introduced Craig to Mike. Mike shook his hand. You could see an element of fear in his face. And when Craig left, he said, "That's it, you're not my fucking wife anymore." And with that, I will sadly miss my brother. Thank you.
as Mom said, there were many adventures. Some of them, I'll probably still get grounded if I was to tell anybody. I'm pretty sure at minimum sent to my room. Mike was always the little guy that wanted to be one of the big guys. But he also always wanted to help everybody. And he wanted to be remembered. When you walked out of a room after meeting him, a lot of people, you'd see him out in the hallway, they'd shake their head and go, "The fuck is the matter with that guy?" Because Mike could do anything to make you smile, anything to make you laugh. Didn't matter how embarrassing it was. Just didn't give a rat's ass. He just wanted to see people happy. And above all, he wanted to see everyone around him not only survive, but thrive. He wanted to see you keep going forward, and I'm sure that's what he'd want now. He doesn't want anyone to tuck their tail between their legs and run for the hills. Stand up, fight like he would, make somebody else smile, make somebody else laugh, make their day better. I mean, if you're embarrassed, that goes away in a couple seconds. Somebody that really needs to smile gets to, that can change a life. That's what Mike was all about. I'm not going to tell any stories because I probably will get grounded. If Mom doesn't do it, my wife will. I mean, Nikki, we're here for you. Connor, same thing. We're here for the boys. We're family. We should all be here for each other. And we should all be doing things that Mike would do. Every day's a challenge. And I'm pretty sure most mornings he woke up and went, "Yeah, bring it, bitch. I'm ready." Yeah, he wasn't actually talking to you. That's just the kind of guy he was, right? Or he might have muttered, "Challenge accepted." And away he went.
I'm sorry, guys. You know, me and my dad, for a long time, we had our differences, but we always came together, laughed, talked, whether it was going to Tim Hortons and hanging out with the guys or chilling at the house, you know, doing anything that we could, just joking around. It was always nice, but about 3 years ago, I moved up to Grand Prairie, and Nick and Dad took me in. They gave me a room, you know, made sure that I was welcome, comfortable, and loved. And I'm really gonna miss him a lot. Whether it's just sending him messages on Facebook, funny memes on Instagram, anything like that, it's just, I'm gonna miss those little interactions with him. Thanks.
So I know a lot of people don't really know me, but I'm the other daughter-in-law, not by government, but by his own choice. He decided to not fully meet me, but at the very first time, but straight up said, Brooks, she's a keeper, the moment he gave me a hug. Told Brooks he cannot lose me, he better keep me in the family. And what Brooks doesn't know is I would make secret trips to even go see his dad, to go visit him at work, at home, or even at Timmy's. Especially with the fact that he pulled me in when I went up to Grand Prairie for schooling. He said, there's no way in hell you're going to live with anybody else or pay rent at a place that you don't want to stay at. You are family, I love you, you're going to stay with me. And I cannot count the many mornings that I would wake up way before my alarm, just listening to Mike singing away at any song he could potentially find. And of course, me being me, trying to find new music, there'd be me with my door open in PJs, my phone shoved out, Shazamming that song, because I really enjoyed that song. And even to this day, there's one song that's stuck in my head, but I just can't figure out which song it is that he would sing every morning. And he would just sing it to the top of his lungs. I could hear it clear as day. But no matter what, he is definitely another father to me. He was somebody that took me in without knowing me. He's one that showed me many, many more things in life. Made fun of me of how I cracked my first egg in front of him because apparently I don't know how to crack eggs, but that was a bad egg. It didn't split down the middle. It just shattered in my hand, so I had to peel it in a horrible, horrible way. But no matter what, I know he has given me the best gift of life, which is the family of Brooks, Connor, and Corrine, and then another mother, Nick. There's nobody better in this world to have than these people. I'm so greatly sorry for everybody in this family and everybody in this room and so forth. They are so amazing. And of course, he will be missed not only as a father, a friend, or just some random person to give you a call and say, hey, I miss you. He's going to be loved for years to come, from us to his grandkids that he will meet one day down the road. There will always be stories of him, and I know that for a fact. Especially with that pearly white smile he always shone to everybody. Thanks.
And Robert, don't you dare start bawling over there, because then I'm gonna have to like disappear. Mike was a huge part of everyone's lives that he came across.
I gotcha. Always gotcha.
I know. Much like Connor 3 years ago, I also came back to GP for a little bit. And it definitely wasn't an easy time, but through every hard stream that came, every battle that anything was thrown at, whether it was friends, family, extended family, the loss of anything, Mike would always have a glorious laugh or a jolly joke. Last time we were up and visited, Mom was at work still, and one of the best things that Mike had in common with us was always music. And he was all excited because he got these these brand new earphones, and oh man, I got your mom these brand new earphones. I think she's gonna love them. And I laughed. I went, well, what kind are they? He goes, well, they're a brand I've never heard of. So he tries them out. They're pretty good. So then I was like, well, on your way home, if you don't mind, would you mind grabbing me a pair and I'll pay it back when you go home? We sit in his truck for a bit, and Connor and my best friend were actually helping load up Connor's new bed into the box of my truck, which, you know, I'm not exactly the greatest when it comes to loading stuff up, so me and Mike are in the truck cracking a joke of, so how long do we think it's gonna take him to get the bed loaded up properly? And then sure enough, Connor comes walking up to the truck a minute later and goes, so we might need your help to get this in properly so we can tie it down. Just want to make sure it's tied down properly. Mike just starts this great big glorious grin across his face. The classic. That didn't take long. Just before we left to go back home before Christmas, Mike was all excited because it's, as we all know, Mike had a very big love for, like Nana said over there, he had a great big heart for anything of fat kid variety. So for Christmas, everybody got homemade goodies, including the famous rum butter tarts, which hopefully everybody got some, if Mike didn't eat them all. And before we left, he made sure to note that we all knew that no matter what, regardless of what's going on, we all have a place to stay. And I think one of the biggest things Mike left with that, although he's probably standing somewhere around laughing at all of us because we're all teary-eyed and gloomful, probably thinking we're all a bunch of idiots. But no matter what, he always left a smile, a warm hug, and left you with a sense of feeling like you meant something, no matter what. And I think is one of the biggest things that brings everybody here today as one, is we all had something in common. We still have that in common, and it's the family isn't just blood, it's family is who you bring together through work, hobby, family through blood, and family through extended. I know a lot of people are going to have a hard time saying anything, if at all able to. But no matter what, just like Mike used to do, don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to crack jokes at the fact that, yeah, he's a bluntly ass for leaving us all like this. Because, you know, you're not supposed to literally play the dead dog trick. You're actually supposed to get up from it. I don't really know where I was going with this, but he did always make sure that everyone knew that there was somewhere to go. So even if you don't know each other well, don't be afraid to go, hey, let's go for coffee. Yeah. I'm sure there's more that somebody has to say, but my brain's kind of flustered right now.
All right, go sit down. Since I'm standing here, thank you everybody for coming. This is gonna be quick. Mike was definitely a bright light, and that is what he brought to all of us. And yeah, he would listen if I was having a bad day or if I was upset about something. But it was, okay, you're done. You've had your say. It's time to smile, and it's time to crack a joke, and it's time to be goofy. So just please, everybody, remember that. Smile. Cry when you have to, cry when you feel like it, but please, think of all his laughs and his jokes and his smiles. He was everything to me, but he will stay with me, and life does go on, and that's what he wants for all of us. So I wish all of you the same magical, unconditional love that he gave me and that he gives to all of you. And of course, you guys are my family, so you're always welcome. Just because Mike's gone, the door's still open. And Mike will actually still be at home, so you can still talk to him.
Wish I could reach you to a distance, show you my heart and all that I'm feeling. Lord, I can't preach, but I know something's missing. No way to fly back to the beginning. So until we meet again, so do yours too. We will roll down the rapids to find a wave that fits. Can you feel where the wind is? Can you feel it through all of the windows inside this room?
'Cause I wanna touch you, baby. I wanna feel you. I wanna see the sunrise and your sins, just me and you. Light it up on the run. Let's make love tonight. Make it up for love. Try.
Go give love to your body. It's only you that can stop it. Go give love to your body. It's only you that can stop it. Go give love to your body. It's only you that can stop it. Go give love to your body. Go give love to your body. Is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. You cast a spell on me, spell on me. You hit me like the sky fell on me, and I decided you look well on me, So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights out now, I'll take you by the hand you another drink. Drink it if you can. Can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from us, so stay with me. I can make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. You cast a spell on me. You hit me like the sky fell on me, and I decided you look well on me. So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights out. Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up with a
dreams that you did too. Oh why can't oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't
Great memories, both that we heard this afternoon and that we saw. It was apparent to me as I was listening that there's one quality of character that Mike displayed that I missed in my remarks, and that is of love. Love is at the center of our being. It's the vital force that gives us energy and direction. It connects one heart to another. Love is an irresistible passion and affection for a person, a place, an idea, or even life itself. It's having a deep connection to someone or something with detachment and freedom from expectations. Love thrives on acceptance and appreciation. It's nurtured by commitment and seasoned by gratitude. Love is our greatest gift. There was one single description of Mike that Nicholas sent me the other day that summed up all of it. His love, his service, his confidence, his humor, optimism, enthusiasm. And I'd like to share that one sentence description with you. Mike was the friend that laughs at you falling down in the mud puddle and then helps you get up and then keeps laughing with you after it's over. Even though Mike's no longer here to share the laughs, I trust that his legacy will bring you smiles every time he comes to mind, and occasionally some cleansing tears as well. I also heard that Mike really loved to sing, and when I heard about his passion for Cool Joe, I thought about Vince Guaraldi, and he was the composer of all the funky jazz kind of music that all the Peanuts cartoons had in them. So on a hunch, I looked up, and sure enough, he'd written a Joe Cool theme song. I'm going to close in prayer, and then we'll give that Joe Cool theme song a listen to as we remember Mike and all of his passions for life, for laughter, and for his friends and family. Let us pray. Dear Father in heaven, in the midst of our sorrow and loss, we are grateful that Mike lived his life among us. We're grateful for the example that he was to us, the legacy of laughter, enthusiasm, love, optimism, and humor that touched everyone who knew him. We'll continue to carry Mike in our thoughts, and we take joy in knowing that he is now at rest with you. Amen.